The city of Dol Amroth, fair and proud, stands as a beacon of hope and strength for the kingdom of Gondor. Under the leadership of Prince Imrahil, it serves as a stronghold against the darkness that threatens to engulf all of Middle-earth. Its strategic importance to the realm cannot be overstated. The city's location, perched upon the coast, allows it to control the movement of ships, thereby denying the enemy the use of the sea. Its walls are strong and its defenders are brave, making it a formidable fortress. Furthermore, the city is home to the Knights of Dol Amroth, a renowned order of warriors known for their skill and valor in battle. These elite fighters are sworn to defend the city and the kingdom with their very lives. The kingdom of Gondor cannot afford to lose Dol Amroth, for it is a vital link in the defense of the realm. Dol Amroth is situated on a peninsula in Gondor. The city is protected by some 2,000 Numenoreans. From the filthy lands of Mordor, the Dark Lord Sauron leads an army of some 10,000 orcs. Sauron and his forces will attack the fortress from the southern gate. Aragorn and his troops will attempt to hold the gate, but if they are overwhelmed, they will retreat to the prince's keep, where they will make their last stand. Likely, Sauron will react by splitting his army into 3 parts in order to attack Aragorn's host from all sides. The fate of the city will likely be decided here. Upon the walls of the city, the soldiers stand ready, their eyes fixed upon the enemy's approach. The swordsmen, strong and resolute, grip their blades tightly. The spearmen, their weapons held at the ready, stand in a phalanx formation, ready to repel any attacker who dares to breach the walls. The archers, their bows drawn taut, stand ready to rain death upon the enemy from above. Behind the gates, the soldiers stand in formation, waiting for the enemy to breach through the gates. They are armored and heavily armed, their faces set in determined expressions. They are not only soldiers, but also brothers in arms, and they stand together, ready to defend their city and their people with their very lives. The king, Aragorn, stands tall among them, his sword and durel in his hand, his mind fixed upon the enemy. He knows the stakes of this battle, and he knows that the city of Dol Amroth must not fall into the hands of the Dark Lord Sauron. He will do everything he can to win the battle. As the enemy approaches, the soldiers of Dol Amroth stand ready, their hearts filled with courage and determination. They shall not falter, for they are brave and true, and they shall fight to the last man to protect their homes and loved ones from the wrath of Sauron and his minions. Sauron's army approaches the city of Dol Amroth with a formidable host of 12,000 orcs, their eyes set upon the fortress. The Dark Lord is determined to claim it for his own, and will stop at nothing to achieve his goal. In the army are many half-orcs, fierce warriors of mixed blood who fight with a brutal ferocity. Trolls also accompany the army, towering beasts of immense strength and cruelty. Sauron has also brought the Nazgul Riders, the most feared of Sauron's minions, whom will fight with their venomous swords as they slaughter Aragorn and his defending army. Sauron has also brought several siege towers, tall structures made of wood and iron, that will be used to scale the walls of the city, and a battering ram, a heavy log with iron bands, that will be used to break down the gates of the city. The orcs march towards the city of Dol Amroth, their feet pounding the earth with a relentless rhythm. Their armor clanks and clatters as they move, and their weapons glint in the sunlight. They are a formidable force, their numbers seemingly endless as they stretch out as far as the eye can see. Their mood is one of determination, their eyes fixed upon the city ahead. They know the task that lies before them, and they are ready to fulfill their Dark Lord's command. Their faces are twisted in fierce snarls, and their eyes burn with a fierce hatred. They are fueled by the promise of plunder and victory. In the nearby Gondorian city of Edhellond, a mighty host of knights have heard of the siege of Dol Amroth. They mount their steeds, their armor shining in the sun, and ride out from the city with haste. Their goal, to reach Dol Amroth before it falls to the forces of darkness. They are determined to aid King Aragorn and his army in their defense of the city. The knights ride out in full regalia, their banners flying high, and their armor gleaming in the sunlight. They are a sight to behold, a powerful force of chivalry and valor. Their horses gallop across the countryside, their hooves pounding the earth. The knights, each one a skilled warrior, ride with purpose, their eyes fixed upon the horizon, and their hearts filled with determination. At Dol Amroth, the conflict has begun. The archers take their positions, knocking arrows to their bows as they exchange fire with their foes.
Ready to fire! Do we get those monsters over there?
Finally, the siege towers draw near to the walls of Dol Amroth, their massive forms casting a shadow of dread upon the defenders. The soldiers, their armor glinting in the sun, pour forth from the towers, their swords and shields at the ready. Finally, they jump onto the walls and combat the Numenorean archers. As the main gate has been breached, the orcs are quickly gaining advantage on the walls. They will shortly have full control over both the western and southern wall, and will thereafter flank the Numenoreans from all directions. First to rush though the walls of Dol Amroth are Sauron, his Nazgul and the giant trolls. They strike with swift and deadly intent, their eyes fixed upon the Numenoreans who defend the city. The defenders are caught off guard, their ranks thrown into disarray as the enemy pours through the breach. The Numenoreans, their weapons at the ready, fight bravely against the tide of darkness. But they are vastly outnumbered and outmatched by the might of Sauron's forces. As the battle commences at the courtyard, the orcs have now completely conquered the walls. Shortly, they will descend the walls and aid Sauron and his troops in an attempt to push back Aragorn and his Numenoreans. More orcs pour through the gate. Currently, they outnumber the men by 8 to 1. Some 1,000 men are alive, protecting the city, and some 8,000 orcs are present at the battlefield. With fierce determination, Aragorn and his loyal soldiers do face the monstrous armies of orcs, their blades ringing with the clash of steel. Though they strike with great courage and skill, their numbers are greatly outnumbered and their strength wanes. It becomes clear that a strategic retreat is the only course of action to preserve their lives. At long last, Aragorn signals for his men to make their retreat, for the tide of battle has turned against them. With heavy hearts, but steadfast resolve, they make their way to the prince's keep, where they shall make their final stand. With tactical precision, Aragorn divides his men with great care, stationing them at the 3 critical choke points of the prince's keep. These strategic positions shall serve as the bulwark of their defense, and he ensures that his warriors are evenly distributed, so that they may hold out for as long as possible against the onslaught of the orc horde. With ominous intent, the Dark Lord Sauron and his hordes of orcs emerge from the gates of Dol Amroth, having regrouped and strengthened their ranks. They ready their weapons and prepare to march upon the prince's keep, the final bastion of defense for the people. The very earth trembles beneath them, and the hearts of the defenders quail in fear of the impending assault. But though the odds may be against them, Aragorn and his warriors shall not falter in their defense of their land and their people. Although they know they will not make it, they shall face the enemy with valor and honor, and fight until the bitter end. As more than half of the remaining men lay dead on the ground, Aragorn realizes that all hope is lost. The city of Dol Amroth is lost to the enemy. Without warning, a formidable force of knights from the city of Edhellond appears on the horizon, their banners waving in the wind. Their armor gleam in the sunlight as the sound of their galloping horses echoes through the land. Aragorn and his men hear the war horns of their allies, and bolster their ranks just in the nick of time. The knights ride with courage and determination, ready to defend the prince's keep and vanquish the enemy. Truly, a blessed turn of events, for this might change the fate of the battle. With the arrival of the Edhelland's cavalry, the tide of the battle turns in favor of Aragorn and his men. The knights charge into the fray, striking the orcs from one end while Aragorn and his warriors engage them from the other. The orcs are caught in a vice and are greatly overwhelmed by the fierce onslaught. Sauron and his hordes, unable to withstand the relentless assault, flee the battlefield in defeat. The defenders let out a mighty cheer as the enemy retreats, the victory hard-won but sweet. The ground is littered with the fallen, but Dol Amroth stands tall and the people are safe. The day is won, but at great cost, and the heroes mourn the loss of their comrades as they prepare for the next battle that may come. Do you like huge, epic battles like the one you just saw? Well, then you're gonna love this one, the Siege of Edhellond. Gondor is besieged by a huge army of orcs. Click here to watch.